When it comes to live television, the stakes are never higher. Everything is being done on the fly and they require sticking to an exact schedule to avoid any big slip-ups. However, sometimes things don't go as planned. Some of these celebrities have made a comeback since, but these live TV moments certainly didn't help their reputation. Coming in at number 10, Steve Harvey.
I have to apologize. The first runner-up is Colombia. Miss Universe 2015 is Philippines.
Back in 2015, many watched in awe as Steve Harvey made one of the greatest blunders in television history. Steve incorrectly announced that the winner of the Miss Universe contest was Colombia. As the celebration was happening and right as she was getting crowned though, you just see poor Steve Harvey tuck his tail between his legs and march back out to correct his mistake. It was definitely hard to watch, but man, you gotta commend Steve for owning up to his mistakes like that. Realizing that Miss Philippines was the actual winner, he came back out and corrected it without even blaming anyone for his mistake. Although he might have said something about the teleprompter being wrong. But before we hit our next point though, we need you guys to hit that like button because it really helps us out. And with that out of the way, let's keep going. Coming in at number 9, Pamela Anderson. I don't know if she was wasted or what, but right from the very beginning of this interview in 2006 with comedian John Rove McManus, it was a disaster. Upon her introduction, she came running out with more energy than that time that Tom Cruise jumped on Oprah's couch, which we might get to later. Pamela greeted the crowd with a hair flip and then proceeded to toss a handful of green candy into the crowd. Candy that she had plucked from a bowl on the table at the interview.
By the sounds of things.
Although the real nail in her coffin was the drama that led up to this bizarre interview with the former Baywatch star. According to John, the show runs live and Pamela was late, so he actually had to start the show before she was even in the building. When she finally did show up, she really seemed like she was doing everything to hurry up the process and get out of there. Multiple times he genuinely asked her if she was okay, but that only made things more awkward. Coming in at number 8, Mariah Carey. Look, Mariah Carey can definitely sing. There's no question about that. However, this does not make her immune from copping out time to time and lip syncing, you know, just for fun. Right off the top, during her 2017 New Year's Eve performance, you can tell that she's lip singing, but when the music transitions and she comes down to the main stage, the sound tech accidentally plays the wrong song. Whoops. I don't know if this was just an error or if someone was really trying to expose Mariah like that, but damn. My favorite part comes later on after she tells the crowd that they picked the wrong song, and as she's talking, like mid-sentence, you can hear her trademark whistle note in the background. It's just perfect live TV. I know Mariah Carey still obviously has a career, but I had to include it because apparently she got paid close to $3.5 million to lip sync her New Year's Eve performance. I guess you could say more than one ball was dropped that night. Coming in at number 9, Vanilla Ice. Way back in 1999, before Jon Stewart was the host of The Daily Show, he was hosting a program on the set of MTV called MTV's Lame 25. On the show, the host would typically make fun of different music videos that had already aired on MTV, and then they would destroy the tape. On one episode in particular, rapper Vanilla Ice came in at number 9 with his song Ice Ice Baby. The rapper was in the studio at the time of the criticisms and he was planned to take to the set with a baseball bat and break the tape for his own song as per MTV's request. However, things didn't go exactly as planned. The jokes and comments must have really started to bug Vanilla Ice because he didn't just break the tape. Vanilla Ice took that baseball bat to the entire set, smashing everything and scaring everyone in the process. Luckily, he was able to bounce back from this by reinventing himself as a DIY superstar on different home improvement networks, but I don't know if that's much better. I mean, how ironic though would it be for MTV to call up Vanilla Ice and have him rebuild their set that he destroyed? I think that'd be pretty great. We should do that. We should organize that. Who has to start a GoFundMe? Because Vanilla Ice is gonna need to get paid to do that. You're like, don't you need a change.org? No, GoFundMe to get him to do this. Coming in at number 6, Jesse Eisenberg.
Do you know the comedian Carrot Top?
Yes, horrible.
Well, you were like the Carrot Top of interviewers.
Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah. No, and it's a good thing. It's
I'm
a good
gonna
thing.
go cry now.
No, don't cry now.
While promoting the film Now You See Me, Jesse Eisenberg just could not contain his utter disdain for this interview. Right out of the gate, he was on the defensive. The interviewer refers to Morgan Freeman simply as Freeman, for which Jesse then takes offense to for some reason. He then remarks that she's the Carrot Top of interviewing, which just insults the interviewer so bad that she hurries Jesse to complete a magic trick so that they can just wrap it all up. The entire interview is one of the most uncomfortable things I've ever witnessed, and we're only at number 6 on this list. Trust me though, if you haven't watched this full interview, you must. It is just such a terrible exchange back and forth between an actor and an interviewer, a true masterclass on what not to do. From both sides, really. Coming in at number 5, Tom Cruise. It was the couch jump that truly rocked Hollywood and a side of the action hero Tom Cruise that we had never witnessed before. In short, it was a meltdown over passion for his newest love interest, Katie Holmes. At the time, Tom Cruise was one of the biggest celebrities in America, and he was already an established leading man with roles such as Top Gun and Jerry Maguire under his belt. He was appearing on the Oprah Winfrey Show to promote his upcoming movie, which was Steven Spielberg's remake of War of the Worlds. However, instead of staying on script for his promo material, he could not stop gushing over his new girlfriend. Within 15 minutes of the interview, Tom had leapt onto Oprah's couch as Oprah struggled to find the words for his over-the-top infatuation. In the moment, it was this very heartwarming thing to see, but in hindsight, people watching that clip only see Tom acting out of school for an interview. So by all accounts, and without hearing the audience's reaction, this was categorized as one of Tom's biggest TV meltdowns. Coming in at number 4, Ashley Simpson. That video of Ashley Simpson on Saturday Night Live just messing up her performance still gives me secondhand embarrassment. In the video, you can see all of this confusion when she realizes that the track started playing before she even had the microphone up to her face. So she just starts like awkwardly dancing instead. Hey, maybe that's where the Fortnite Take the L dance came from. At that point, you can't even really salvage the performance. I mean, it's called Saturday Night Live for a reason. So she did her little dance, said that she was sorry, blamed it on her band for some reason for playing the wrong song, and then it was all quick cut to commercial from there. During an interview several years later, she was asked about this incident, and here's what Ashley had to say.
What happened there was I had a vocal problem. I had two nodes beating against each other, and I woke up and I had no voice. And then I should have said, no, I will not go on. I will not do this. And
coming in at number 3, Sinead OConnor. In 1992, Sinead OConnor was invited to be the musical guest on Saturday Night Live. Had she just stuck to her usual routine, this performance could have ended much differently. However, instead of doing that, she decided to go down a very weird downward spiral that was all captured on live television. Nearing the end of her performance, O'Connor pulls out a photo of Pope John Paul II and slowly begins to rip the picture in half. She did this while saying, "Fight the real enemy." Shortly thereafter, she was banned from ever appearing on the show again, probably because when they were doing rehearsals, this little number was not included. You can't surprise people like that, especially Lorne Michaels. That's it, you're out of here, kid. That's my Lorne Michaels impression. Coming in at number 2, Charlie Sheen. Charlie Sheen is the polar opposite of what you should do when pursuing a career in Hollywood. He carries with him a terrible offset and onset reputation, and the debacle that he went through in 2011 even led to his contract termination from the show 2.5 Men. For a while, he was all over the news for everything from substance abuse, domestic violence, and even when he revealed that he was HIV positive. With his history of flying off at the drop of a hat and trying to get people fired who speak ill of him, Sheen had a very difficult time trying to rebuild his career. Although it's hard to put a pin on one interview in particular that really ended Sheen's career, there are certainly a bevy of bizarre ones to choose from. Perhaps the worst was when he was on the Today Show for a very candid conversation.
People that aren't special, people that don't have tiger blood and, Adonis DNA.
Strong people have relapsed. Strong people have started using again. How do you avoid that?
Fools.
Last but certainly not least, our number 1 spot, Billy Bob Thornton. As great as a career that old Billy Bob has had as an actor, he is also in a band called the Boxmasters. Although oddly enough, whenever he does interviews now, he insists that they only talk about the band and never even bring up his acting career. I mean, how could you do that? It's really weird considering how prolific this guy was as an actor. You'd think if the interviewer was a fan of his, it would be really disappointing to get this demand before starting your conversation with him. Hey, you know that thing you really love about me? Yeah, don't talk about that. Not at all. I don't want to hear your questions. The biggest blow up that was viewed as one of his most awkward interviews was when he and his band were on a show called Q for CBC in Canada. The interviewer tried his best to talk to Billy, but he always answered in a confusing way, which left the band feeling even more awkward to answer the questions for him. I mean, take a look.
I wasn't instructed to. I'm not really instructed. You guys are here as a band. You're performing, but
the producer was instructed.
Right,
but somewhere along the way.
I actually can't believe that he just told the interviewer how he was instructed not to call his music career a hobby. No wonder this guy has had like 5 different marriages. God, get it together, Billy Bob Thornton. With that though, let's check out some of your comments from the video titled "Nicki Minaj sued for $200 million because of this." Just a Bigfoot with meme says, "I hope no one tries to sue me for throwing rocks at their tent." I love this account so much. Please don't ever stop commenting on our YouTube videos. Always makes me laugh.
He had internet access.
Yeah, he used to be Bigfoot with internet access. He's branching out now. I'm So Bored says, "I mean, why now? He had 3 years to do so." Well, that's what a lot of people are saying. Why now? Why now? I mean, she's got a baby on the way. Why would you do it now? Becca Queen says, you literally showed receipts of him being credited and in the same sentence said he needs to be credited. I'm mad confused, son. I said that he was credited as a writer, but he also claimed that he made all of the music on that track, which is an entirely different credit and one that would bring him even more money. So, I hope you understand. Sabrina Baby 12 says, seems fishy. He was hanging out with her and on her radio set long after. I'm not saying he's completely lying, but if you weren't paid and credited and felt wrong, why were you still all up her butt? I mean, she's Nicki Minaj, right? Like, you can imagine that opportunity. You're like, yeah, I'll make the music, I'll write the song, I'll do all this stuff for you. And then she's not really paying you, and you're like, oh, maybe I'll get to it. She'll give me my money, I don't need to worry about it. And then 3 years later, and you're still not paid. Although, 3 years low, bro, like you need to leave it alone. Leave it alone. If it's been 3 years ago, leave it alone. Make new music. You could have been making new hits this whole time. Lazy Town Stan says he messed with the wrong girls. The Barbs are definitely gonna come after him. Yeah, this is not the clout you want, man. You do not want that Nicki Minaj Barbs clout. Oh God. That's all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. I've been your host, Johnny Rogers, and until next time, stay classy, YouTube. Make sure my mustache is on point.
Mustache on point.
Here, my eye. Sorry. Candy that she plucked. Trains! Yeah. He then, as you saw, remarks that she's the. What was that? Bronze. Jumping the gun. Sorry, can I go up? I can't see it. No, sorry, down. I always do that. Thank you. However, instead of staying on script to his. However, instead of staying on. What am I, drunk? However, instead of saying staying, Sinead? Sinead?
Sinead.
Sinead. Do you pronounce the D? Sinead. Sinead. With his history of flying off, with his fistory. Please play video 722 to 732. Hope we can play it. Otherwise, that's a really weird transition. Take a look. No video.